Okay, good afternoon to everybody. Now we start a very interesting part of Laplace transformation, the applications of Laplace transform. Actually, in previous lecture, we have studied how to solve ordinary differential equations with the help of Laplace transform. And it was also an application of Laplace transformation. Now we are start another applications of Laplace transformation actually in engineering level and and solving partial differential equations, etc. So this is very interesting. Now, how to solve actually partial differential equations. Solving partial differential equations, you must know this is an example of partial differential equations where u is the dependent variable and t is the independent variable. Okay, and so this is the actually partial derivatives consist. This is for partial differential equation. And there is a boundary conditions ux xt is the independent variable here. U is the dependent variable, U is the function of xt, remember it. So x comma t equals to 0 here, initial condition for partial differential equation. Ux 0 equals to 3 sine 2 pi x, and another initial condition u0 t, x equals to 0 here. Uxt is the function. Okay. This equals to 0 and u1 t equals to 0. There are three initial conditions given where x lies between 0 and 1 and t must be positive. T must be positive. So it is the example of partial differential equation. Actually, now how we can solve these types of partial differential equations in Laplace by using Laplace transformation. Now first of all, you have to take Laplace transform on both sides. Okay, taking Laplace transform on both sides, with respect to t, we get del u del t Laplace transform SUT. Okay, SUXT minus UX0. You must know here a t function is non-zero and t function it equals to 0. Okay, using the properties of differentiation of function with differentiation properties of Laplace transform. So this can be written as d square u dx square. So taking a Laplace transform on both sides with respect to t, we get this one from the given partial differential equation. Now substituting the value of ux0. Ux0 equals to what? Ux0 equals to 3 sine 2 pi x given condition, and rearranging we can get d square u by dx square minus su. This equals to value what? 3 sine 2 pi x. Okay, where u equals to function of xs. This now become function of xs. This equals to actually Laplace transformation of uxt. Remember it. Laplace transformation of uxt can be written as uxs. So the general solution of equation 1 will be u equals to this equation 1. Actually, this is the linear differential equation. You can easily solve. First of all, taking auxiliary equation m square minus 1 equals to 0. That means c1 e to the power root thrice root sx plus c1 e to the power minus root sx. Okay, m square minus s equals to 0. Okay, so m square equals to s. So m equals to plus minus root over plus minus s. This is why using auxiliary equation we get this solution. Now for the right hand side, you must know particular integral. By using particular integrals we get this. Okay, because right hand side is not equal to 0 and this is the non-linear. So non-homogeneous differential equation. So this is the particular integral and this is the auxiliary equation. So total solution will be this. Now determining the value of C1 and C2, taking the Laplace transform of those boundary conditions that involve T, we can obtain C1 equals to 0, C2 equals to 0. Thus, U becomes this. C1 is 0 and C2 also 0. Just using boundary conditions, these given conditions. When x equals to 0, we get U0 T equals to 0. And when we put x equals to 1 and T equals to T, then we get another one. So we get, after solving for C1 and C2, we get 0. Now inversion gives uxt equals to 3 e to the power minus 4 pi square t by 7 pi x. Just using C1 equals to 0 and C2 equals to 0, we get this solution only. Okay. uxt. Now another application in solving electric circuit problem. So electric circuit problem, so we can use another application of Laplace transformation. So from the theory of electric circuit, you must know I equals to C into dB dt. Actually, where C is the capacitance and I equals to IT, electricity, electric current, and B is the voltage here. So, and B is the voltage. So we have to find the current expression on the complex impedance of a capacitor. So to solve these types of problem, actually, taking the Laplace transform, we have to, this is actually a differential equation, first order and first degree differential equation. So to find out the electric current from this equation, first of all, you have to take Laplace transform on both sides. Okay, Laplace transformation will be Laplace transformation of IT. That means I is the function of T, remember it, because electricity depends on time. Okay, so Is equals to Laplace transformation of IT and Bs equals to Laplace transformation of Bt. Okay, so and B naught at time t equals to 0, B naught equals to Bt, remember it. Now solving for Bs, then we have Bs equals to Is by Isi and B naught by S. Then after solving, we get this from these two. So we'll discuss how to solve electric circuit problem. Now other application of Laplace transform, there are many other applications of Laplace transform to determine a structure of astronomical object from spectrum. To find the moment generating function in statistics, it has a huge application in to determine the present value of console the bound the economics. Okay, in economics we can apply this to solve the problem related to communication and network analysis. Actually, in electrical engineering, it's in communication engineering and network engineering also, it can when any problem arise, then we can apply Laplace transform to make a equation in simple form from hard equation like vibration of spring. This is also engineering problem, dynamical problem. To solve these types of problem, we have to use Laplace transform. To solve mixing problem, involve two tank problem. Okay, mixing problem. Actually, in chemical engineering, we can use these types of problem. And there are another part, a limitation of a transform, Laplace transform. It has actually limitations. Only be used to solve differential equations with known constants. Remember it. We can use this Laplace transformation to solve differential equations where the constants are known. If the constants are unknown, it's not possible to use this method. So you have to remember this point. An equation without the known constant, this method is actually useless. Okay. Now today we'll try to solve some interesting problem, engineering problem. Okay. Suppose circuit analysis using Laplace transform. How we can use this concept to solve the circuit problem by using Laplace transformation. And another one is actually to to find out the damped of a driven harmonic oscillator, we can use this Laplace transformation later. So how to solve actually electric circuit problem? In circuit problem, in general circuit problem, we can draw this, and it is known capital R is the resistance and C is the capacitor here. Okay, L is the actually inductance, electric inductance. Okay, E is the voltage. Okay, so you must know these types of equation. So by Kirchhoff's law, you must know capital L di dt plus Ri plus Q by C equals to E. Actually, you must know about this. So I'm not talking. This is a differential equation because here I is the dependent variable and T is the independent variable, and differential coefficient with respect to T exists. This is why this is a differential equation. So suppose we are considering an example. This a resistance R in series with inductance L is connected with EMF ET. The current I is given by like this with this differential equation. So capital L is the electric conductance and rate of electric current with respect to T plus Ri equals to E, total EMF. Okay, given by this equals to E. Now, if the switch is connected at time t equals to 0 and disconnected at t equals to A, find the current I in terms of T. We have to find out the electric current in terms of T. Now, conditions under the which current I flows are total EMF will be E when T lies between 0 and A. When T equals to A, then there will be EMF exist. When EMF will be 0 when T is greater than A. Okay. Now, given equation is this. This is the differential equations. Now, taking Laplace transform on both sides, we must know Laplace transform of S into Laplace transformation of IT minus IT equals to 0 at time t equals to 0. Okay, plus Ri. I bar means actually Laplace transformation of IT. Remember it. So E, Laplace transformation of E will be 0 to infinity to the minus st e dt. Here f of t means what? E. So by using definition and the Laplace transformation of differentiation formula, we get this one, and this is the by the definition of Laplace transform. So actually at t equals to 0, I equals to what? 0. Okay, because there will be no current at time t equals to 0. So I0 equals to what? 0. Now putting I0 equals to 0, we get just this one. L into S, Laplace transformation, S into Laplace transformation of IT, R into Laplace transformation IT. So Laplace transformation of IT, that means I bar will be common. We get this one. L is the electric conductance. Remember it. L means electric conductance. So we get this equals to, actually this integration, very easy integration, e to the power mx formula, e to the power mx integration, dividing with the coefficient of S, the coefficient of t. Okay, so coefficient of t what? Minus S, dividing with the coefficient, and putting upper limit and lower limit, we get actually this result. Putting upper limit, we get e to the power minus at minus S, because this is the t values. A equals to what? T. Now putting lower limit 0, we get e to the power minus 0 means what? 1 by e to the power 0, e to the power 0 means what? 1. This is why you get only this result. So just multiplying, we get this one. Now Laplace transformation of I is given by this. Okay, E divided by S into, just dividing by this Ls plus R, dividing by, because this equals to this. So I bar equals to what will be? Ls plus R divided by this 2. Okay. Now taking inverse Laplace transformation, just as usual previous lecture, how to solve ordinary differential equations. This is also ordinary differential equations. Remember it. Here I is the dependent variable and T is the independent variable. So first order and first degree ordinary differential equation. Now we are taking inverse Laplace transformation. That means this is the Laplace transformation of IT. So inverse Laplace transformation of this will be what? IT only. So inverse Laplace transform of this minus inverse Laplace transform of this. This is equation number 2. Now we have to find out the inverse Laplace transformation of E divided by S into Ls plus R. So this can be written as E divided by S into Ls plus R equal to E divided by L. L is common. Taking L common here, we get S plus R by L. Okay, S plus R by L. So taking E by L common. Now E by L into L by R inverse Laplace transformation. We can make a partial fraction like this. Partial fraction. How? A divided by S plus B divided by this. Okay. So making partial fraction, we get 1 by S minus 1 by S plus R by L. L by R common because A equals to L by R and B equals to minus L by R when we are taking partial fraction as a constant AB. Okay. So this inverse Laplace transformation of 1 by S what? 1. Because Laplace transformation of 1 is 1 by S. This is why 1 by S inverse Laplace transformation will be 1. And inverse Laplace transformation of this divided by 1 by S plus A. A means what? R by L. So e to the power minus at formula. Okay. Just use the table and previous lecture how how to find the Laplace transformation of basic function, inverse Laplace transformation of basic function, or use the table. Okay, you get this result. 1 by 1 plus 1 by S plus A. A means what? R by L. So e to the power minus at formula. Now resolving into partial fraction, we get this one. Remember it. Similarly, inverse Laplace transformation of second one. This is the second one from equation 2. Second one will be E divided by R. R will be common from here. And using similar properties, and 1 minus e to the power R by L t minus A, u into t minus A. Okay, by the second shifting theorem, second shifting property, we have proved this property and used this property in our previous lecture. So you can use this easily. So on substituting these values of the inverse transformation, this inverse transformation and this inverse transformation in from equation 2, we get this. Just putting inverse transformation, these values minus these values. Okay. So this is the inverse transformation values and inverse Laplace transformation values. Now common, what will be this? Just taking common, e divided by R, 1 minus e to the power R by N t, for t lies between 0 and I. But u in t minus I equals to 0 between this. Okay. So I equals to what will be? E by R 1 minus e to the power minus R by t, R by L t minus e by R 1 minus e to the power minus R by L t minus A. So these values actually, this is common, e by R is common, and 1 will be cancelled. Okay. After taking common, 1 will be cancelled. So we get this result. Another example, voltage. If the voltage E into e to the power minus at is applied at t equals to 0 to a current of inductance L and resistance R, show that the current at a time t is will be this. Okay, we have to show this result. Now we know that this is the actually applied voltage EMF. We must know this. This is the standard form of differential equation using the previous circuits. Using the previous circuits, that means this one. These circuits. From these circuits, we can write this one. Okay. So electric inductance L di dt plus Ri equals to E into e to the power minus at, because total applied voltage will be this. Where I 0 equals to 0. Electric current at time t equals to 0 equals to what? 0. When t equals to 0, there is no current. So total voltage will be then this. Now taking Laplace transform on both sides of equation 1, Laplace L means this, and Laplace transformation of first derivative of it will be this. Okay, s into Laplace transformation of it minus I at I values at t equals to 0 plus r I bar means what? Laplace transformation of it. Okay, and E is the constant e to the power minus at. Formula what will be 1 by s plus a. Laplace transformation of e to the power minus at what will be 1 by s plus a. From previous lecture we have proved this. Now if putting this initial condition at time t equals to 0, electric current what? 0. Using this condition in equation 2, that means this will be 0. Okay, so we get I bar is common, that means Laplace transformation of it is common, then we get ls plus capital R equals to this. So I bar equals to what will be? E divided by this one, s plus a ls plus R. Now easily partial fraction method we can write this 1 by s plus a minus 1 by ls plus R, where R minus L. Okay, just partial fraction method we can write down this. You can consider this equals to A divided by capital A divided by s plus a plus b divided by ls plus R. Okay, then putting s equals to minus a, okay, and putting s equals to r by l, then you get another values of a. If you put s equals to minus a, then you get another value of constant, then we can form this partial fraction. So this equals to can be written as e divided by r minus l 1 by s plus a 1 by taking l common here. Okay, 1 by s plus r by l. Okay, here l is missing, one l is missing here, remember it. Okay, so taking the inverse Laplace transform of this equation 3. So inverse Laplace transformation of 1 by s plus a and inverse Laplace transformation of this. So you must know inverse Laplace transformation of 1 by s plus a what? E to the power minus 8. Okay, and another one inverse Laplace transformation of this will be e to the power minus 80. My a means what here? R by L, remember it, R by L. So very easy. This is shown. Okay, very easy for you. Now third one example, using the Laplace transform, find the current I in the LC circuit using L equals electric inductance I 1 Henry and C equals to 1 Farad capacitance and 0 initial current and charge on the capacitor. Voltage Vt equals to T when T lies between 0 and 1. Okay, now otherwise 0. So the circuit will be like this, electric inductance will be this, and EMF Vt, and C is the capacitor and I is the electric current. Now usual differential equation L and C circuits, L into di by dt. This was actually di by dt, but I equals to what? dq dt, remember it. So this can be written as d square q by dt square. I equals to rate of change of charge with respect to time. This is why I equals to dq by dt, remember it. So it can be written as d square q by dt square. Di dt can be written, di by dt can be written as and q by c. So this is the actually total EMF. Now putting L equals to 1, C equals to 1 and E equals to BT. Okay, equals to what? BT. In equation 1 we get easily this differential equation. Now taking a Laplace transform as usual on both sides. Laplace transformation of here actually Q is the dependent variable and T is the independent variable. Remember it. And this is the second order ordinary differential equation. So Laplace transformation of double differentiation of Qt will be this. S square Q Laplace transformation of Qt S into value of Qt at t equals to 0 and minus first derivative of Qt at t equals to 0. You must know from the theorem of differentiation of f of t by using Laplace transform property. And this is important properties we are discussing from previous lecture. So plus and Q bar means what? Actually, Laplace transformation of Qt, because Q is the variable here. We are taking Q as a dependent variable. Remember it. So we are this is the Laplace transformation of Qt, and Bt, Laplace transformation of Bt will be according to the definition. F of t means what? Bt, e to the minus st dt. Now substituting Q0 equals to 0, because t at time t equals to 0, Q equals to what? 0. And first derivative of Q at time t equals to 0, what? 0. Just using these two conditions here. S square Q bar minus S, Q0 means what? 0. So it will be cancelled, and this also cancelled. So only Q bar present. Q bar means what? Laplace transformation of Qt. So Q bar is common here. S square plus 1. 0 to 1. Bt means what? T. Okay. Bt equals to T. And when its limit will be 0 to 1. And so 1 to another infinity will be 0, because you must know this value 0 from the given condition. So 1 to infinity, f of t value what? 0. And 0 to 1, f of t value what? T. Now using UB process of integration, t integration of e to the power minus st minus differentiation of t 1 with respect to t, and again integration of e to the power minus st. So we get e to the power minus st minus s. Okay. So e to the power minus st divided by minus s, and another another integration here. So we get only minus 1 minus s, another minus s multiply minus s what? S square, and limit will be 0 to 1. So after putting limit t equals to 1 here, we get this, and t equals to 0, we get this 0. So again putting for this limit t equals to 1, we get e to the power minus s by s square, and if t equals to 0, then we get only 1 by s square. So Laplace transformation of Qt, this is the Laplace transformation of Qt equals to what? S square plus 1, this is divided by s square plus 1. Okay. So 1 by s square plus 1 bracket this whole. Now Laplace transformation of Qt equals to, can be written as s square plus 1 multiply this, s square multiply this, and multiply this. Okay, just multiplying. Now taking inverse Laplace transform, we get, actually we have to find out inverse Laplace transform of first part, inverse Laplace transform of second part, and inverse Laplace transform of third part. Okay. So inverse Laplace transform, we get Qt, original function Qt, inverse Laplace transformation of first part, inverse minus inverse Laplace transformation of second part, plus inverse Laplace transformation of third part. So we know that inverse Laplace transformation of e to the power minus s f of s, shifting property. Okay. This equals to f of t minus a u t minus a. Okay. This is the inverse Laplace transformation formula. From chart you can check this. E to the power minus s f of s equals to f of t minus a u t minus a. And inverse Laplace transformation of 1 by s into s square plus 1 equals to, this is the integration properties, 0 to t sin t dt. F of t means what? Sin. So this means what? 1 minus cos t. Sin integration what? Minus cos. Just putting upper limit and lower limit, 1 minus cos t. Again inverse Laplace transformation of 1 by this equals to integration formula, integration properties, 0 to t 1 minus cos t. This is the actually formula, and using the properties of inverse Laplace transformation. This integration t 1 integration of what? T, and cos t integration of what? Sin t. Just putting upper limit, we get this one. Now in view of this, inverse Laplace transformation of this can be written as what? From equation 4, 1 minus cos t. Actually t equals to what here? T equals to t minus 1. Okay, t minus 1, because e to the power minus 1 is present here. Coefficient what? Minus 1. This is why t minus, if e to the power minus at, then it will be what? E to the power cos t minus a equals to 1 here. Okay. Now inverse Laplace transformation of this will be what? Just t minus 1. T becomes t minus 1. Okay. S square, this formula. T means what? T minus 1. And sin t means what? Sin t minus 1, ut minus 1. Okay. Now putting the above values in equation 3 in this 3 equation, we get the original solution of the given circuit problem. Q equals to this. Q means charge, remember it. Q is the charge, total amount of charge at time t. This is the actually solution for this problem. Now let us consider the damped driven harmonic oscillator. The mass m is driven by an applied force f of t. It is also experiences the spring force minus kx and a friction force minus bx dash t. Force means you must know there will be differentiation. So proportional to its velocity. Force is proportional to its velocity. The differential equation describing the motion is this: m x double derivative of xt plus b into first derivative of xt plus k xt equals to f of t. Here t is the independent variable and x is the dependent variable. Remember it. X is the distance, displacement, and t is the time. So x double dash means what? Acceleration. X dash means what? Velocity. That means dx by dt. Okay. And this will be what? D square x by dx dt square. That means acceleration. And this is the velocity. And this is the actually friction. And is the spring constant, spring force. So if it is rest initially, when t equals to 0, then x equals to what? No displacement. Okay. When t equals to 0, x equals to what will be? 0. At t equals to 0, dx dt what? First derivative of x with respect to t what? 0. That means velocity will be 0 at time t equals to 0. And the force function of an ideal impulse peaked at t equals to at t naught. That is f of t will be p naught del t minus t naught. Now we have to find out the displacement x as a function of time t. Now actually we are using impulse function properties here. We have to use impulse function properties. Now we'll try to solve this problem. Now applying the Laplace transform on both sides of the given equation, differential equation, Laplace transformation of this whole left hand side equals to Laplace transformation of the right hand side. Okay, p naught divided by m, p naught divided by m, and del t minus t naught. Okay. So just taking Laplace transformation of this equals f of t means what? This, remember it. Now dividing by m on both sides. Dividing by m on both sides, we get p naught by m in right hand side. So Laplace transformation of second derivative of xt, what will be? This s square Laplace transformation of x plus s into Laplace transformation of x constant Laplace transformation of x. You must know. This is the actually shifting property of Laplace transform e to the power minus st naught. Okay, using shifting property. Now, therefore, Laplace transformation of x can be written as p naught divided by this. Laplace transformation of x, Laplace transformation of x, Laplace transformation of x will be common. Then dividing by on both sides with the coefficient of Laplace transformation of x. Okay, 1 divided by s square plus b m by m into s k by m e to the power minus st naught. Now let us write s square plus b, this denominator. Okay, b by m s plus k by m equals to, can be written as s square plus b by m s, b by twice m whole square minus b by 2m whole square k by m. Just making it a square, a plus b whole square formula. To make this a plus b whole square formula, we are adding another extra minus b by twice m whole square. Okay, to making it x square. So this b square by 4m square plus k by m. Now simplifying the notation, here alpha equals to b by twice m, w square what? Just for simplification, Here alpha equals to b by twice m. Okay, b by twice m. B by twice m considering alpha, and s plus b by omega square equals to what? K by m minus b by twice m whole square. Then this Laplace transformation of x can be written as this one, like this: p naught by m into omega, omega divided by s plus alpha whole square plus omega square. Okay, omega square equals to what? K by m minus b by root twice m whole square. Substituting, okay, b by twice m equals to alpha. Then we get this. Now there are three different cases arises because Laplace transformation of x depending on this whole equation. This is a part of equation. So depending on omega square, we get different solution. Okay. So if the oscillatory case omega square equal to 0, then the inverse Laplace transformation of this will get the exact solution of the differential equation xt. Xt equals to what? Inverse Laplace transformation of will be this. When omega square greater than 0, then we can write p naught m omega divided by s plus alpha whole square plus omega square e to the power minus st. So inverse Laplace transformation, there p naught and m omega is constant. So inverse Laplace transformation of the e to the power minus st naught omega divided by s plus alpha whole square plus omega square. Now this can be written as p naught divided by m omega. Inverse Laplace transformation of this can be written as like this: e to the power minus st naught Laplace transformation of e to the power minus alpha t sine omega t. This is a formula from chart. You can check from the chart of Laplace transformation. So Laplace transformation of e to the power minus alpha t sine omega t equals to this. We have proved in our previous lecture. Actually alpha was a and omega was what? B. Okay, e to the power at, e to the power at sine bt formula of Laplace transformation. In previous lecture, second lecture, we have proved this result. So just using a equals to minus alpha and b equals to omega, we get this Laplace transformation of this will be this. So p naught divided by m omega e to the power here e to the power minus alpha t and another one e to the power minus st naught. So this can be written as e to the power alpha into t minus t naught. So sine omega t minus t naught u t minus t naught. Just using shifting property. Okay, using shifting property we get this one. Shifting property means in previous we have used this concept in previous example. Okay, shifting property. Now this is actually required solution of the damped equation when omega square is greater than 0. Now if the overdamped, okay, if omega square is less than 0, that means substituting beta square equal to minus omega square, taking beta as negative omega. Okay, so if beta square equals to minus omega square, then the solution will becomes inverse Laplace transformation of what will be? Omega square equal to what will be? This omega square equal to minus beta square. Okay, we are considering beta square equal to minus omega square. So just omega square equal to minus beta square. All are same. All are same. Then the inverse Laplace transformation of this. So you must know this Laplace transformation of this one will be e to the power minus alpha t sine beta t. Same. Then this inverse Laplace transformation of this can be written as this one. Same as before. Just putting b equals to beta. Now critically damped when omega square equal to 0. So there are actually three conditions when omega square is greater than 0, when omega square less than 0, that means negative. When omega square equal to 0, then there will be no damped. So xt equals to inverse Laplace transformation of this because omega square equal to 0. Omega square equal to 0. Okay. Omega square equal to 0. Then putting omega square equal to 0, we get this inverse Laplace transformation of. So P naught by M is constant, inverse Laplace transformation of this one. P naught by M, inverse Laplace transformation of e to the power minus st naught. You must know Laplace transformation of this what? E to the power minus alpha t, t into e to the power minus alpha t. Okay. So inverse Laplace transformation of this combined will be what? E to the power minus alpha t minus t naught, t minus t naught, and this t also become t minus t naught. Okay, and ut minus t naught. We have used these properties in previous examples. So notice that in all the three cases, xt, solution of the differential equation, is equal to 0 before t equals to t naught, and you would expect, because the system cannot respond until after the impulse has occurred. Okay, this kind of behavior is often referred to as the being causal. So causally, a characteristics of solutions involving time requires that there can be no responses before the application of a drive. Okay, so it is interesting to note that Newton's equation is invariant under the transformation t equals to minus t. So there will be no change. Thus, clearly, causality is not implied by Newton's equation. The causality shown here is the result of the definition of the Laplace transformation. The fact that the important physical requirement is built in the Laplace transformation is another reason that this method is so useful here. So actually, for this dynamical system, actually we have discussed three behaviors depending on omega. Okay, so this is very important example in actually mechanical engineering. Similarly, we can solve another example. This one, a mass m equals to 1 unit is attached to a spring with the constant k equals to 4, and there is no friction. That means b equals to 0, and the mass is released from rest with x0 equals to what? 3. When t equals to 0, then displacement 3. At the instant t equals to twice pi, the mass is struck with a hammer, providing an impulse p0 8. Impulse will be p0 equals to determine the motion of the mass. We have to determine the motion. So if we plot xt, we get this solution. Actually, we have to find out this solution first of all. Now we need to solve the initial equation like this. Second derivatives of xt plus 4 into x equals to 8 del t minus t naught, t minus 2i5, where x0 equals to 3 and x dash 0 equals to 0. Actually, you are using the standard form of previous one. So now applying the Laplace transform, we get on both sides this one, very easy. Double derivatives property of Laplace transform. We get this one. So 3s plus 8 to the power minus pi s. Laplace transformation will be s square plus 4 divided by. Okay. Now xt can found by taking inverse Laplace transformation of this plus in second inverse Laplace transformation. So 3, this is the constant 3, inverse Laplace transformation as divided by this, as divided by s square plus a square formula. Okay, Laplace transformation of what? Cos twice t, and this is also Laplace transformation of sin twice t. Okay, and e to the power minus 2 pi s is common. 3 into cos twice t, Laplace transformation and Laplace inverse Laplace transformation will be no effect. So cos twice t. So 4, this is the properties we are using from previous example. 4 into sin t becomes t minus t naught. T naught equals to actually 2 twice pi. Okay, t equals to t minus t naught. T naught equals to what? Given condition, t equals to t naught. In our t equals to twice pi in initial condition. Okay, so t minus t naught means t minus twice pi, and u t minus t naught, t minus t twice pi, same properties. So or this xt can be represented as 3 cos twice t when t less than twice pi and when t greater than twice pi, second one whole. Because if t less than twice pi, this is undefined. Okay, this is why for depending on t, we get two values of the function xt. Now, as 3 cos twice t plus 4 sine 2 into t minus twice pi, okay, 3 sine cos twice t and 4 sine twice t, because sine twice t minus twice pi can be written as like this. So this is a trigonometry equation. So 5 into cos 2t minus theta, where theta equals to tan inverse 4 by 3. By using trigonometric properties, we see the effect of the impulse t equals to twice pi. It is instantaneous, increases the amplitudes, that means value of x of the oscillator from 3 to 5. Okay, although the frequency is still the same, so there is a discontinuity in velocity. So the plot of xt is shown in this. You can use implementing software. Plot of this can be shown like this. You can use Python, MATLAB, or C++ to plot this. Then you get this figure. Okay. So actually, this is the twice pi, and this is another twice pi, and this is the another twice pi. In along x-axis time t. So depending on time t, amplitudes increase. Okay. So x values 3 to 5. That means displacement start from 3 and end at 5. Okay. So when twice pi, displacement is 5. When 4 pi, displacement is 5. When 6 pi, t equals to 6 pi, then displacement is also highest, 5. So this is the actually required solution for this equation. Okay, this will be another example or electric circuit, but I am not discussing this. You will do it at home, homework for you, because we have solved 3 problems. We have solved 3 problems, circuit problems. Okay, this will be homework for you. Okay, watching video, you can solve this. Okay, the circuit equation is given by this. Actually, from the question, we have to draw this circuit considering this RLC series in the given figure. This figure, we can solve this differential equation. Here I equals to electricity will be rate of change of charge depending on time t, that means dq by dt. And this is the EMF, total EMF ET. Okay, so this is the actually total EMF. Capital L is the electric inductance, R is the resistance, and S is the capacitor, Q is the charge. So this is the standard form of differential equation of this circuit. Now you'll try to solve using the initial condition. When time t equals to 0, electric current will be 0. When time t equals to 0, electric charge will be 0. Just using these 2 conditions, you can solve by using Laplace transformation. Okay, this is the actually required solution for this. So thanks to everybody. Actually, I have discussed about 6 problems, engineering problems, and it is also application of Laplace transform. So if you do practice, I hope everybody can solve these types of problem, which is very necessary for you. And from these 6 problems, I have divided into 2 parts. One is electric circuit problem, and another is mechanical problem. Okay, 3 mechanical problem and 3 circuit problem. I hope everybody will practice this 6 problem. Then you can solve any other problems of engineering applications. So thanks to everybody. First of all, you have to follow the previous lectures. First lectures, what is Laplace transformation? How to find the Laplace transformation of some basic functions. Then we have to make a chart of that basic functions. What is the Laplace transformation of that actually? Then what are the properties of Laplace transformation? We have to make a chart for that. what are the properties of Laplace transformation. And I have proved in second lecture. All we have used these all properties in different way. So then third lecture is what is the definition of inverse Laplace transformation, and what are the inverse properties of inverse Laplace transformation. Okay, remember that properties of inverse Laplace transformation is opposite to the properties of Laplace transformation. So if you remember one, then you can understand another one. Okay, then in in fourth lecture, we have solved many differential equations, 7 differential equations, ordinary differential equations. So how to solve actually ordinary differential equations by using Laplace transformation? We have solved it in fourth lecture. Then in this last lecture of Laplace transformation, actually we have solved some real life examples of application of Laplace transformation in engineering, actually in mechanical engineering and in electrical engineering. Okay, so from electrical engineering we have solved 3 problems, and from mechanical engineering we have solved 3 problems. So remember this, we have covered all part of Laplace transformation. So if you gradually try to prepare yourself, you can follow this. Thanks to everybody. Best wishes for you.